really interesting clip from Bryan Fischer, which gives us some insight into kind of the psyche and the underlying premise to much of the religious-based fear-mongering and lack of separation of church and state that's desired by individuals like Bryan Fischer and groups like his group, the American Family Association. Take a look at what Bryan Fischer said on his program.
You want to understand why people seem so clueless? We talk every day for 2 hours about how clueless people on the left are. Why is that? Because they do not have the fear of the Lord. You can't be clued in, you can't be discerning, you can't be perceptive, you can't be wise unless you begin with a holy reverence for God.
All right, so Lewis, liberals can't be wise because they don't fear the Lord. This is fascinating to me because this really outlines the mindset for a lot of the compliance fear-mongering that exists in the religious community. In other words, you must be afraid. You must be afraid in order to act morally. You must be afraid in order to be good. You must act out of fear. And what's the most compelling aspect of this, Lewis, to me is that we know that in just about any other aspect of life, making decisions out of fear, operating out of fear, leads to bad decisions. It leads to irrational decisions. It doesn't lead to productivity. It doesn't lead to anything good. So why is it that while in every other avenue of life, you want to avoid acting out of fear? And as we know, even basic depression is often just based in fear. Anxiety is almost always based in fear. Why do you need to fear God in order to be a good person?
Yeah, it's fascinating. I mean, at the root of it, in the case of Christianity, it's fear as a form of control.
Right.
And like you said, like we talked about yesterday, fear as a form of control is exactly what's happening in countless Middle Eastern countries with regard to Sharia law. It's the exact same thing. I guess Bryan Fischer just isn't wise enough to see that.
There is absolutely no difference between Christian and conservative use of fear to control and coerce in the United States and the Sharia law version of fear that is used to control and coerce in other parts of the world. The Christians who are using it here are actually using fear-mongering about, in many cases, Islam, although really they are both based in the same type of fear-mongering. And as you said, Lewis, the Republican Party uses fear-mongering when it comes to trying to get the vote out. President Obama is going to take away your guns. Obamacare is going to be death panels. Obamacare is going to destroy doctors' jobs, and there won't be any doctors anymore. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And this is yet another area in which we don't like the two-party system. We know that Democrats are almost as corrupt as Republicans, but Republicans in bed with Christianity and kind of the right-wing religious movement use fear-mongering exponentially more than do mainstream American Democrats. And this is a perfect example of where it comes from. You can't be wise unless you fear God.